Maybe a tough one to put into words, but how would you describe this game here tonight?
I mean, yeah, it was 2-1 game heading into the third, and I didn't think we played our best, but we were still in the game. It was 2-1, and you give up 2 quick ones, and it's 4-1, and you're chasing the game. So we haven't been great on the road, and we got to find a way to start winning some games on the road.
Just how deflating are those? Sorry, Claire. How deflating are those early goals that are scored? 1 in the second and 2 in the third.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to give up a goal late in the period, early in the period. Not maybe being detailed, I guess. It kind of wrecks the momentum. So got to be better and pay more attention to detail at that point in the period.
When we were speaking with Linus Ullmark earlier today, he said, respect your opponent. You can't take games like this lightly. Do you think that there was some issues about going in here and maybe not respecting them as much?
No, not at all. They lost 3 games in a row. We knew they were going to be playing hard, and they really needed that win. So I thought we had a good mindset going into the game. Nothing was different, and we try to win every game. And I didn't think we did some things good enough tonight, and obviously power play wasn't good enough, and penalty kill led in a couple, and so that's probably the difference in the game.
I know you have no reason to complain about the power play at all this season. The first dozen games here, but power play wasn't going here tonight. What was there an issue? What can you say about it that didn't work?
No, I mean, obviously we had a hot start to the season, and the last few games we, haven't gotten on the board. So I think it's just, compete and competitiveness, and those are the 2 things that we need to get back to. And I mean, we're all skilled players, but just be more competitive. It's obvious.
And Josh, after a game like this, what's the messaging to bounce back?
Yeah, I mean, it sucks to give that one away, but a lot of games in this league, and there's no time to dwell on the past game. So we'll be looking ahead to next game and have a much better effort.
Not sure if this is tough to put into words, but how would you describe this game tonight?
Well, I mean, obviously not good enough. Game kind of got away from us there at the start of the third, and it's hard to catch up like that. But it was kind of a little bit of back and forth, I guess, in the first period or 2, and then, like I said, the start of the third wasn't good enough, and that was it.
Goals in the first 30 seconds of both periods.
Yeah.
How deflating can those be?
Yeah, I mean, it is, certainly. I don't know if that's happened. I don't know if we've given up one of those all year. You guys would have to check. But, to do it in back-to-back periods, I mean, it's certainly not the way that we talked about coming out. We feel like we've been a good starting team, whether it's at the start of games or in periods as well, all season. So I guess it's early on, but I would say it's uncharacteristic for us to come out and kind of lay an egg at the start of each period like that. But we have to fight through it. I mean, there's good players on the other team, and they're a good team. So we have to do a better job at, when that does happen, to reset and get going again.
It certainly seems there's a rivalry. I mean, there's always been a rivalry between these 2 franchises. But what about how the chippiness how chippy the game was, both ways?
Yeah, well, I mean, once the game kind of starts to get, I don't know what the right word is, but once you start seeing the score kind of go a little bit away, then obviously the game's naturally, I think, whether it's a rival or not, naturally it's going to probably get chippy.
Travis, given that this was a divisional rival, you guys know the importance of games like this. How does that enhance the disappointment of the effort?
Well, I mean, I don't think it was a terrible effort. I mean, certainly you're going to look at the scoreboard and say it's 5-1 and okay, but there's just some parts of our game that just weren't fully there 100%. Special teams wasn't there, and that's probably the difference. If our power play goes and gets a couple, and our kill does a better job to keep a couple out, then it's a whole different ballgame. So I don't know if it's fair to say that it was an effort-based thing necessarily, but I understand you asking that. But I just think it was just maybe a bit more execution in certain areas. Maybe that's probably a bit more fair to say.
This morning about respecting opponents, and this can be a very humbling league. Is tonight's end result an example of that?
Well, I mean, we knew they lost, I think it was 3 in a row, so we knew that they were going to probably be a little grumpy about that, and it was discussed in our room, and we haven't proven anything, so we have to respect everyone and earn our respect around the league as well, I would say.
Coach obviously didn't get the kind of game that you were hoping for
No, we didn't. Quite frankly, I'm not sure if the game was a 5-1 game, but we didn't have enough to win. Enough players playing well enough to win.
How deflating are the early goals to start periods here? One in the second, and obviously the two in the third.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. You give up 3 goals in a matter of a minute or a minute and a half. You're not going to win many games.
A couple of your players this morning were talking about how the Sabres were a desperate team. Was it a matter of them playing with more urgency tonight?
A little bit. I thought their team, we talked about that though. Other team, they deserved to win. They played better than us tonight. Special teams, we lost a special team battle. I thought weren't strong enough on the puck in certain moments of the game. Sometimes you get what you deserve, and we got it. We got what we deserved tonight.
You said
Travis, there's
recent.
a level of intensity of this game with a lot of focus on Detroit, Ottawa, and Buffalo in the Atlantic Division. I mean, is this a rivalry in the making that we're seeing return in some ways with Buffalo, Ottawa, and Detroit?
I don't know. I think we're a ways away from that. Usually teams that have rivalries, it's usually built through the playoffs, not through a regular season.
You recently praised your defensive work, saying you guys weren't cheating, weren't taking shortcuts. Did any of those habits creep into your game tonight?
No, I don't think we cheated for offense. I just don't think we played well enough.
The simplicity of it, just not enough guys paddling in the same direction.
Yeah, we had moments. It was 2-1 going to the third period. But at the end of the day, close isn't good enough, and we didn't play good enough to win.
The beginning of the first or the second and the third period, you guys let in some goals 40 seconds in. How do you address that?
During the game?
Yeah. Or no, after the game, whenever.
Yeah, we'll address it tomorrow. We talk quickly after the game, but there'll be a few things that we'll address tomorrow and talk about like we always do, whether we win or lose.